Good afternoon. I'm Adeola Adekunle with Global News. In the news, Governor Fubara presents 2024 budget amid assembly crisis. Former Sierra Leone president gets house arrest after questioning. UN Assembly demands ceasefire in Israel war on Gaza.
This is the news.
Intrigues have continued to trail the political crisis in Rivers State as the State House of Assembly complex was demolished earlier today. This was as Governor Siminalayi Fubara presented 800 billion naira 2024 budget estimates to Edison, a year-led group at the Government House, the same moment the demolition was carried out. The presentation of the budget was held at a hall in the Government House due to the renovation work at the State Assembly complex. 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly on Monday defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. The 27 members were said to be loyal to Martins Amaewule, who is an ally of Nyesom Wike, a former governor of the state till May the 29th, 2023. The crisis in the 32-member assembly had begun as a result of a rift between Fubara and his predecessor, Wike. International NGOs working in Niger as call on the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to ease its sanctions against Niamey to allow emergency humanitarian aid enter from neighboring Benin. The organizations are calling for the immediate reopening of the border with Benin, which has been blocked because of regional sanctions, to facilitate the entry of humanitarian aid into Niger, where they say more than 4.3 million people need urgent assistance. At the end of a summit in Abuja on Sunday, ECOWAS maintained the economic and financial sanctions imposed on Niger after the coup d'etat on July the 26th, making their easing conditional on a short transition in particular. NRC regional spokesman Usman Drabo say the absence of a humanitarian exemption risks seriously compromising access to medical assistance, food, and other essential needs for the most vulnerable populations in Niger. Former Sierra Leone President Ernest Bai Koroma has been placed under house supervision in what the opposition say is house arrest following the recent violence. Koroma was questioned for the third time by police in Freetown about the events of November the 26th, described by the authorities as an attempted coup d'etat. Sierra Leonean authorities say some of Mr. Koroma's former guards are suspected of having taken part in the unrest of November the 26th. In the early hours of that day, men attacked a military armory, 2 barracks, 2 prisons, and 2 police stations. The fighting left 21 people dead, 18 members of the security services, and 3 assailants, according to the Minister of Information. Rwandans are set to go to the polls on July the 15th, 2024 to elect their next deputies and president, with current head of state Paul Kagame up for a 4th term. Paul Kagame has been the de facto leader of the country since the end of the 1994 genocide. The National Electoral Commission said throughout the country the date for the election of the President of the Republic and 53 deputies from a list proposed by political organizations or for independent candidates is July the 15th, 2024. 24 women parliamentarians, 2 youth representatives, and 1 representative of Rwandans with disabilities will also be chosen by electoral colleges and committees on July the 16th. You're listening to Global News on 88.9 FM, accurate transmitting from Ilaramokin. After the break, United Nations Assembly demands ceasefire and Israel war on Gaza. Details in the second part of the bulletin. Join us again.
The news on Adaba 88.9 FM.
Glad to have you back for news, update and live streaming. Visit our website www.adaba889.fm or download Adaba FM app on Google Play Store. You can be part of us on our social media platforms www.facebook.com/AdabaFM88.9 on Facebook, at Adaba889FM on Instagram and X, and Adaba FM TV on YouTube. You can provide us information via email newsroom@adaba889.fm. Until the rest of the bulletin. The United Nations General Assembly has passed a non-binding symbolic resolution to demand an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza, with the United States and Israel voting against it, but an overwhelming number of member states in favor of an end to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. A total of 153 countries voted in favor of the resolution. 10 countries voted against it, while 23 abstained. While speaking before the vote, Jordanian Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi said voting against the resolution means approving senseless killing. The resolution is non-binding but serves as a barometer of global opinion, as fighting between Israel and Hamas that killed more than 1,400 people. Meanwhile, Israel is looking increasingly isolated after the United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly adopted a non-binding resolution demanding a ceasefire in Gaza. U.S. President Joe Biden issued his sharpest criticism yet of Israel's leadership, linking the loss of international support with what he called the indiscriminate bombing in Gaza. The Palestinian Health Ministry says a 13-year-old boy became the seventh victim to die following raids and drone attacks in the occupied West Bank area of Jenin on Tuesday. Fierce battles between Israeli soldiers and Hamas militants continued overnight in Gaza amid intense bombardment. The main focus has again been in Khan Yunis in the south of the territory. The IDF has announced the death of 2 more soldiers who were killed in northern Gaza fighting last night. At least 45 people have been injured and a children's hospital as well as homes damaged after Russia launched a missile attack on Kiev. People were woken by a series of loud explosions as air defense systems brought down a series of missiles aimed at the capital. A Russian missile attack destroyed several homes on the outskirts of Kiev, injuring 4 people and cutting electricity to more than 100 households. The attack came as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was in the United States, urging right-wing Republicans to back billions of dollars in new military aid for his country. Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden warned the lawmakers they would risk giving Russia a Christmas gift if they failed to approve the assistance. Sports. The president of La Liga, Javier Tebas, has been re-elected to his position as head of Spanish football's 2 top divisions. Tebas had resigned in November in order to seek a 4th term and was the only candidate. He assumed the presidency of La Liga for the first time in April 2013 and was re-elected in 2016 and 2019. In a statement, the Electoral Commission of the National Professional Football League La Liga has agreed to the definitive proclamation of Mr. Javier Tebas Medrano as president of the National Professional Football League for a period of 4 years. The former club president of Huesca is credited with reforming Spanish football's television rights, beginning by centralizing a system which previously relied on clubs negotiating individually. He has raised accolades abroad with his criticism of clubs such as Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City, arguing that their Gulf-based ownership amounts to financial doping. And now to end global news, a recap of our top stories. We tell you that intrigues have trailed the political crisis in Rivers State as the State House of Assembly complex was demolished earlier today. And former Sierra Leonean President Ernest Bai Koroma has been placed under house supervision in what the opposition says house arrest following the recent violence. The United Nations General Assembly has passed a non-binding symbolic resolution to demand an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza, with the United States and Israel voting against it. And that's Global News. It was edited by Patience Ibe. I'm Adeola Ade.